I think everyone can agree immediately that Sonic has always had amazing music. No matter how much time passes, no matter how many games release, and no matter how many of them are debatably pretty bad, we can all agree that at least the music has always been amazing. And it's really impressive because I don't remember a day where it hasn't been like this. You can flash back all the way to Sonic 1, and even though that one wasn't very good, the music was amazing. But it would be dishonest to say that it's always been great. It hasn't. Sonic has had some times where it's slipped up, the music's been odd, but usually these situations can be written off as a little stumble, a little mistake, or just music that's okay, not that amazing or notable. But today we're not talking about that, we're talking about music in Sonic that is horrible. Music that is so unforgivably bad, it's almost impressive that they were allowed to put them in the game. It kind of comes into my mind sometimes because I'll see people talk about how Sonic music is always incredible, and I just wonder sometimes how true that is. I know that I usually do Pokemon videos, but moving forward, I'm gonna mix it up a little. I'm gonna go into more series I like just to add more variety to the content, and so I feel a little more motivated to make videos more often. Just a heads up to those who don't read my community posts. By the way, read my community posts. Today we have a simple format. We're gonna start first with outright bad music, just Sonic music that sucks with no excuse. Next we'll move on to bad music made by a good composer, so someone who's already proven themselves to make great songs, fumbling impossibly hard. And lastly, there's one horrendous song that motivated the entire creation of this video. And if you want to know why I chose to finish off the video with it, you better stick to the end. Oh, and before we go on, I know I'm stopping and starting a lot, but you'll just have to forgive me. You might occasionally hear bird chirps. I think they want me dead, I'm not very sure, so it's best that I finish this recording as quick as I possibly can. Get ready, because who's bored? I'm bored, and today we'll be taking a deep dive into the worst songs in Sonic history. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Sonic Chronicles has famously horrible music. I'm not going to dwell on it too long though because it's been talked to death already. But I definitely don't feel like it deserves all the blame since most of the soundtrack had to be redone within a week because apparently some kind of copyright dispute made it so that none of the music they had made could be used. Besides the battle themes or something, I don't know. Whatever I find, I'll go ahead and put on the screen so that you can see. But what matters is that what we got was very interesting. Still, I don't actually feel like it's criminally awful like a lot of people say. As someone who grew up with the DS, I just kind of feel like this is run-of-the-mill DS music. The reason so many people feel like it sounds horrible is because when compared to other Sonic songs, it is. It goes to show that the biggest crime you can make as a Sonic creator is just making a kind of okay to kind of mediocre soundtrack. That's enough. That's enough for people to just write off the whole game. I don't even think most people have played Chronicles or looked into it. I just think they assume the game is bad because the music sucks, which I kind of get because the music sucks. It's just not offensive like some of the other songs I'll be sharing later in the video. In fact, I can play several examples that are fine enough. So that's why it's the first game here, just because I don't feel like it's fair to call these songs horrible, to call these songs crimes, when most of them are just a matter of circumstance. They weren't given enough time to actually make good songs, especially not when most of the soundtrack had to be completely thrown away and they had to make original compositions to replace them in 6 days. Before I move on, I feel like I kind of have to address something just to get it out of the way as early as I can. Some of the footage you guys see on screen, I just straight up cheated. I just don't want you guys to think I'm actually a master of the game or anything. I have beaten Sonic Advance 1, 2, and 3. I don't want to do it again. I don't have that progress anymore, so I just exploded the SRAM failsafe. If you set the save path on an emulator to nothing, the game just unlocks everything. It made getting the footage easier, okay? So moving forward, if you see Sonic footage, specifically Sonic footage, on an emulator, assume first that I cheated to unlock everything. Not that I'm cheating while playing, but that I did not get all the Chaos Emeralds and all of the bonus keys, and I'm not some hidden master of the game. I'm okay. Jun Senue. Did I say that right? No, you didn't. It's Jun Senue, not Sunue. Senue. Well, Jun Senue is one of the most famous composers, I'd say, in Sonic's history. If you've heard electric guitar music in anything, he probably did it. It doesn't matter if it's a vocal song, it doesn't matter if it's stage music, chances are Jun Senue was behind it, and he's amazing. He's genuinely one of the best composers Sonic has, most of the time. Jun Senue does something I've never seen done before. He is both one of the best composers in the series and one of the worst composers in history. He is either really good or really, really bad. The first game, we got a taste of his musical prowess, his variety of skills, if you will, was Sonic 4, which was now, because Sonic 4 wanted to be so retro, look at us guys, we're just like the classic games. They had this really weird sound font, this very odd choice of style for the soundtrack. Now, I would not... my first choice of person to compose entirely Genesis-inspired music would not be the guy who's been on my electric guitar for the past 20 years. And although Jun Senue had been an amazing composer up to that point, something happened. Now, Sonic 4 isn't the spotlight here, actually, but I have to go over it for us to get to the next part. Most of Jun Senue's tracks sounded sort of like this. As you can tell, that kind of hurts to listen to. They didn't sound good, and they also did not sound at all close to the Genesis style. Now, I don't know why he then continued to compose every single track in Episode 1 and Episode 2. Maybe his compositions themselves were actually good. Maybe he actually did a good job. We wouldn't know because they were all filtered through a toaster. They sound horrible. Sonic 4 was a critical failure. Everyone hated it equally across the board. And that was due in part to the fact that the music sounded horrible. Even if the games had kind of improved a little bit, no one cared, because you play it for 5 minutes and you're listening to possibly the worst songs ever made in the series. Or at least I thought. Now, many years later, after Sonic Mania, which was an actually good successor to the classic games, they wanted to make Sonic Superstars, which was like a pseudo sequel to Mania, if you can call it that. This soundtrack had everything going for it. It had several amazing people. The person who composed Sonic Mania, the person who composed the cyberspace themes for Sonic Frontiers, which, while not my cup of tea, is a good composer nonetheless. These two people came with their A game. The tracks they made for Superstars are amazing. They're incredible. They're some of the best tracks the series has. Even the guy who composed the cyberspace themes just came in and swept me away with amazing music. He did amazing. But there was one problem with the soundtrack. Jun Senue was on it. The first time I can excuse it. He came in with a really weird sound font. Maybe Sega had asked him to do that, but not this time. No one else used this weird sound font. Everyone came in with their own styles, and they did amazing. This was a him thing. He did it again, and it sounds worse than it ever sounded before. because now he's in a game with other amazing composers with amazing music. This leads to Superstars having a very weird problem where the music is half amazing and half unforgivably horrible. I've never played a video game where that happened, especially not one made by $1 billion company in 2023. Or was it? No, I think it was 2023. And to prove my point, I have the holy grail of disappointment in my hand. We'll now talk about what I consider to be the worst song in Superstars, which is Fang's theme. As you can tell, the song doesn't open up terribly, but it also sounds awful anyway. What messes me up about it is that it sounds like it's supposed to be played on an electric guitar, but it's not, so it just sounds like trash. It's like a tin can trying to make an electric guitar riff. I hate it. It is a horrible opener, and it goes on for so long. There's no variation. And it then just has this amazing curve into what has to be the most offensive and ear-grinding bit I've heard in a Sonic game. I don't know why it's like this. Every instrument comes in fighting for dominance, fighting to destroy your eardrum, fighting to give you a headache. It is horrible, and yet again goes on for way too long. This song is very empty. It's empty, and at the same time, it hurts. This is a fight against a major character. Why did they give this to him? It makes no sense. He should not have been the one to compose this. I think at the end of the day, what's the most baffling about all this is that Sega somehow actually accepted what he composed. The only reason I could ever justify this is because he's Jun Sonue. He's composed with us for 20 years. We can trust him mildly. So we just assume whatever he made just now had to have been good. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say, honestly. I think we can just move on to the next part. So as I mentioned before, this video is partially just me looking for some bad Sonic songs, which is a series that usually always has amazing music, so it was kind of like an exercise, if anything. But in early planning for the video, I actually was only going to talk about one song. Now's a good time to say, comment down below with what your pick for the worst Sonic song is, because this one is mine, and of all games, it comes from Sonic Rush. Now for those coming from the Pokemon side, the reason I said it that way is because Sonic Rush is agreed by everyone to be one of the best soundtracks ever. It is amazing. It's an amazing soundtrack, all done by one guy. Hideki Naganuma is a very interesting composer, because he made the entire Sonic Rush soundtrack pretty much all out of nothing but samples. It's impressive, and every song is really memorable and really unique. They get you jumping, they get you moving, which makes sense because he's also a DJ. That's what makes my least favorite song so notable. The soundtrack is great, and there's one song that is unforgivably terrible that I'm shocked can come out of this soundtrack. To add insult to injury, it's actually a remix of a song I adore. Water Palace, which I believe is the second level for Sonic. Don't know what number for Blaze, but it has an amazing song. It is so catchy. It is so jumpy. It just gets you in that feeling, and it fits the setting perfectly. I know the song has a name, but obviously just to make sure we're all on the same page, I will be calling it by the stage name, not the soundtrack name. It's just easier to keep track of it that way. Obviously though, if you've played Sonic Rush, you know the whole game isn't about Sonic. It's also about Blaze. She has a separate story, and even though she goes through the same stages in a different order, what matters is that, well, all of her songs for the stages are slightly different. Most of her tracks are composed to be, alternate versions of Sonic songs. So they're not like Act 2 mixes, they're not continuations, they're not themed to her specifically. They're more so just interchangeably either one could be the stage's theme. Now let me get the biases out of the way. I don't like Blaze. I hate her a lot, actually. She kind of sucks. I'm not sure if she's my least favorite character, but she's pretty down there. Just really bland, really lifeless, and in Sonic Rush, I do not care for her. She is basically just Diet Sonic, but actually just less fun to play. I think her gimmick was that she was supposed to be the stronger version of him, but that doesn't really matter in Sonic Rush. I just want people to know that I do have a bit of bias going in, but I promise most of Blaze's themes are actually pretty good. They really are just alternative versions of Sonic's tracks. They don't change too much, but they change it enough where you can tell that something is different. Except one, which, as you could guess, is Water Palace for Blaze. We will do a quick run through the track, just to get you to understand why I hate it so much, and why it gets such a reaction out of me. Quickly, I'll play a sample of the original Water Palace. It's needed for comparison's sake. I won't dwell. But of course, if you already know Water Palace, skip to here. Pretty jazzy. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite stage themes for Sonic ever. And then there's Blaze's, which I actually will listen to the song as I record. That way I can better give an opinion. Don't worry, you won't hear it. It'll just be put directly in the video. This opening piece sounds really good, actually. It's getting off to a jumpy start. It's getting you moving. I'm kind of enjoying it. And then immediately it hits you with a tsunami to the back of the head with... I don't know what's happening, but it hurts. They just completely the pitch jumps, it's hurting your ears, it's hurting your ears. I don't know why they're doing this. I guess they really want it to be different from the original, but ow. I also have no idea what's going on with the tune here. It just sounds wrong. I wish I knew more about music to describe exactly why I feel it sounds so weird. But listen to it. I can't tell what the rhythm is or what it's trying to do. It just feels like it's jumping randomly around. Then this part here goes back to sounding pretty good. It once again sounds like it's about to hit you with the coolest beat drop ever. But obviously good things aren't meant to last. And then everything comes apart. What's happening? It sounds so empty. I once again cannot pick up what beat it's trying to do. It's just skipping notes and making weird noises. Am I supposed to be bobbing my head right now? To what? I can't pick up what the song is trying to do here. It just hurts and sounds odd. The best way I can describe it is as it's trying to get on your nerves. And then the sparkles, the little synth there, I don't know what instrument it is, you'll have to forgive me, I just know it sounds bad, is completely out of sync to the song, and in a bad way. It's not catchy, it's not alternative or cool, it's just kind of pissing me off. And it then loops back around to the one part I actually felt was really good, as if it's teasing you with it. I think, really the best way to summarize this song is what could have been. It was so close to being really good, but it's just plagued by a lot of really weird empty moments, and the beat just losing it. It is not at all consistent. It's going everywhere. Sections are out of sync, some parts hurt my ears. What a wild ride of a song, and I blame Blaze. I blame her for all of it. It's her fault. Maybe if she was a better character, the song might have actually been decent. Now, yes, the decision to pick this as the worst song is a bit controversial, but I just feel like it has a bit more grounds than the others. In a soundtrack that's really good, by a composer that's really good, comes out a song that's, in my opinion, inexcusably bad. It kind of just sucks. If you have any complaints about my verdict, just send them to Blaze. She deserves all the criticism.
Hey man, I don't appreciate the bashing, alright?
I'm sorry.
Like, I don't do that to you, but you've been doing it to me.
Calm
for
down.
Like the past 4 minutes.
I'll stop.
Like, I'm saying cool your jets.
Okay.
Cool your jets because I don't find it funny.
I'm sorry.
I don't find it funny. Because you think you're funny. Are we cool? Like, are we cool?
Yes.
Are we cool?
We're cool. Alright. I'll chill.
Like, damn.
Wow.
Fucking hamster.
If you want to see behind the scenes goodies, or just want to know when I'll upload again, hop on over to my community posts and take a little peek. Remember to follow my Tumblr and Blue Sky for art, and my Wattpad and AO3 for fanfictions as well. All my socials are bored in a good way, don't forget the underscores, and I always try to respond to DMs. My ask box on Tumblr is open no matter the type of day or weather, so keep that in mind too. And remember, always stay bored.